Yeah.
Can you?
Too strange to us.
I'd like to understand some of the beliefs behind Scientology as well. Who is Xenu? Who or what is Xenu?
Well, it's nothing really. It's something that's put out to try and offend us.
What does that mean?
Exactly that. It's like they put it out in cartoon form, and they say it's a belief of Scientology, but it has no place in the belief system of Scientology.
But L. Ron Hubbard did talk about Xenu. In fact, he called him Xemu, didn't he? Xemu. He talked about it on one of them.
I'm not too sure.
Oh, well, just hold for a second. I'll play you a piece of audio, and you can either confirm or whatever this. This is a lecture that L. Ron Hubbard did in 1969. It's 8 minutes in total, but I just pulled out a bit where he refers to Xenu. Just have a listen to this.
And they had elected a fellow by the name of Xenu, could be spelled Xemu, to the supreme ruler. And they were about to unelect him, and he took the last moments he had in office to really goof the flute.
So L. Ron Hubbard talked about someone, I don't know who he is, called Xemu, and he spelled it Xemu as a galactic emperor. What part of the religion does this character actually take?
Okay, well, first of all, for your question, right?
Yeah.
Do you really want to know, or are you trying to offend me?
No, I want to know because I don't understand the religion.
Okay. Well, let me explain something. All religions have what's called an esoterica. Do you know what that word means?
No.
Okay, esoterica is the esoteric or the perhaps advanced level of that religion. And Judaism has it with the Kabbalah.
Right.
Muslims have it with the Sufi. The Buddhists definitely have the similar thing. And even the Christians have it in some forms as well. And esoterica is the advanced studies of those religions. And you could take any part of the esoterica of any of those religions and try and offend a believer with aspects of it that...
I mean, I don't understand Scientology, so I guess I'm trying to put it into a way that I would understand. Are you saying that, for example, you would offend Islam by drawing a picture of Muhammad?
Yeah, but not quite so simplistic, because you go into some of the esoteric of the Islamic religion and then put that forward, say, well, this is what you guys believe in, and there is some, believe me. Same with Christianity, same with Judaism.
Well, explain to me the Christianity one.
What I would say to you?
What?
I'm not willing to discuss it.
Okay, well, tell me the Christianity one, because that's probably the religion I have most associated with. What are some of these things that Christians wouldn't want to talk about?
Demons that surround us, that influence our lives.
Right. And Christians wouldn't want to talk about that?
No, not too deeply.
All right, so what you're saying is Xenu is a part of the religion, but something that you don't want to talk about?
Sure.
Okay, so if those of us who want to understand a bit more about Scientology want to know about Xenu, what do we need to do? How do we find out?
Well, in actual fact, Scientology is well documented in all the books and lectures that Hubbard wrote and lectured in over a very long period of time. And one can study those, and people do, and there's a home study program where people can pick up these books and read them. And it does go into quite some depth into the Scientology religion, including the idea that we are timeless, ancient beings.
I guess the last question I've got for you, and to be honest, I've got 20 more questions, but we need to move on at some stage, is just on that point, right? I don't think a Christian would be offended by being asked questions about demons. So there's something a bit different there. Why does it offend, if not you, if you don't want to make it personal, Scientologists, being asked about this character that you need to have a higher understanding to talk about? Why is it an offensive question?
Well, it is. And
but why?
You say, does it offend me? It doesn't really offend me particularly.
Well, then explain to us what it is. Then we'll all know. Who is Xenu? Or what? I don't know.
No, you don't get it, right? I just explained it. I said it's part of the esoterica of Scientology.
Yeah, but if you start talking...
we won't talk about it. It's just as simple as that.
Okay, well, the other question, if it doesn't offend you, it offends others within the church, so you won't talk about it.
Sure.
I don't get that.
Simple as that.
That doesn't make sense to me, though.
That's okay. Like I say, you could find some esoteric points in the Christian religion and in Judaism and so forth, and you could possibly ring up one of those guys and say, well, what about this? What about this part of your beliefs? Do you think, and just go on about it? I mean, some Christians believe that the world is 6,000 years old.
But they wouldn't be offended if you asked them that question, and they'd talk to you about it.
Sure.
And I think there'd be some people within the church, you're talking about demons, for example, there'd be some people within the Christian church, in fact, I know of them, who would be happy to talk to you about it because it's what they're into. But it seems that no one wants to talk about Xenu, and I just wonder why that is.
Oh, okay. That's fine. You keep wondering.
Is there anyone? Is there anyone within the church that would talk about it?
No.
It's that kind of deep.
Absolutely.
And so the only way you can learn these deep things is to be at that deep level.
Absolutely. Because otherwise, like I said earlier,
yep.
It just looks like, how it's being represented, like in cartoon form and that kind of thing.
I think
it's really quite silly.
Yeah, I'm not trying to cause offence here because I guess, like I said, I don't understand it, so I'm processing it from a different point of view. And I hear what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying, and I'm not going to push you for an answer. I just don't understand it because there are asking questions about those other things you described. There would be people who talked about them for other religions, but if you want to find out about it, the only way you can do it is to be a big, deep, well into the religion. If you wanted to find out about demons or those other things you're talking about, you wouldn't have to be a priest of another religion. You could be, you could find out from people.
I'm not saying that you have to be a priest of Scientology.
Yeah, it was a bad paraphrase, perhaps.
Scientology is a spiritual path toward knowing and understanding.
Yeah.
It is a journey. It's one that one undertakes by their own volition. It's not something that one can be done under force or anything like that. It's purely that spiritual search, and if one wants to undertake it, then that's entirely up to them.
Mike, we've got some other people we're going to talk to tonight, some people who may not agree with everything you've just said, but that's because we're looking at this as an overall issue. We want to find out more about it. Do you want to hang around for a while so you can respond to them, or you need to move on?
I'm happy to do that.
Okay, and one last thing is, you're talking about cartoon form. I assume you're talking about South Park?
Yeah, I've seen South Park.
Is the story anything like what it's supposed to be, or is it over-exaggerated and understated?
Well, I put as much credibility in South Park as I do in Bugs Bunny, so...
Yeah, but they still told a story, the story that they put forward.
Yeah, but I mean, if Warner Brothers were doing it with Bugs Bunny, I wouldn't sort of give it any more credibility either.
All right. Hey, Mike, look, thank you for sticking around. Hold there for a while. I've got a couple of other people we're going to talk to after the break. Aaron Saxton on the way to have a chat about maybe a different side of Scientology. As I said, we don't know too much about it here. We're just having a chat about all aspects of it, and we're happy to take some talk back on this as well as we go through the evening. Number here is 0800 80 1080.